If you want yet another example as to why these Disney live-action remakes need to stop, look no further than the Lilo and Stitch remake. Now, look, I actually don't have much nostalgia for the original. I've seen it, I liked it, but I didn't grow up on it. I didn't see it until much later on, so I don't have it committed to memory, so I also wouldn't harp on any little change made from the original movie, which I know was the subject of criticism here. So I went into this pretty open-minded, but I found it to be absolutely dull. Now, it was cool that Chris Sanders, who also co-wrote and directed the original, returned as Stitch. I like director Dean Fleischer-Camp, who brought us one of my favorite movies of the last few years, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. I figured he'd at least bring some of that same warmth and emotion here, and you do get some of that. I thought the performances by the actresses playing Lilo and Nani were both really nice, but otherwise, I found this to be a drag. When you realize this was originally supposed to go straight to Disney+, it becomes apparent all throughout this. The CGI for Stitch and the other aliens was fine enough, but otherwise, there's definitely that TV-like aesthetic to the visuals. On top of that, it often plays things relatively safe and goes through the motions, moving off most story beats relatively quickly, never really taking that much time to sit there in any sort of emotional moment. So any sort of complex topic about this strained familial relationship in the original is touched upon here, but it just feels like it moves off each of those moments so quickly that it always feels glossed over. On top of that, it really wasn't all that funny. Some of the Stitch moments were cute, but I found anything involving Zach Galifianakis and Billy Magnussen as Jumba and Pleakley to be painfully stilted and dull. Galifianakis in particular felt like he really was phoning it in. So without the charm, humor, or emotion of the original, it just leads to the question of, what's the point? I mean, I know why we get these remakes, but from my perspective, even without having that nostalgia for the original, I can safely say, despite anything fine this movie does, it overall adds nothing here that the original didn't do better. And if it wasn't for the original movie and the comparisons you can make between these two, it's otherwise instantly forgettable. So all this really does is just make a case for why these remakes need to stop, even though plenty of other movies can equally make that case as well.